Welcome back to another lesson with me, Mr. B. In this lesson, we're going to look at what happens after you provide your real-world example. It's time to wrap everything together in the conclusion paragraph. First, we're going to take a look at the requirements that make up a concluding paragraph and the outline itself. Then, what not to say when concluding this essay. An overview of the requirements that makes up the concluding paragraph in this essay. First, you're going to want to restate your thesis. This is where you kind of paraphrase or remind the readers the purpose of your essay. Then you're going to want to summarize your points. What influence has your literary movement had on your modern day example? And then there's the core of your conclusion paragraph, the big so what question. This is where you want to talk about why it's important to make this specific connection from your literary movement to your example. Why is it important to draw connections and make American literature relevant today? And lastly, you'll wrap up with some closing remarks. Although that the entire paragraph kind of summarizes and brings everything together, as you wrap things up at the end, your essay becomes a conversation to spark thinking in your reader's mind, and you want to leave your reader with something to think about. If you're unable to recall the information from this overview as you're writing, kindly take the time to read the instructions as they serve as a guide while you write. There are some sentence starters for you to use if you get stuck, and you can also look at the student examples in the next video. Now, let's move on in what not to say in your conclusion paragraph. Number 1, do not introduce a new point. This is not the time to add any new information or bring up new analysis. The sole purpose of this paragraph is to conclude and end your essay. Number 2, do not apologize. Be confident in the information you provided. You're the expert here. The reader is learning from you. Number 3, do not end vaguely, leaving the reader feeling unsatisfied. This sometimes happens if the very last sentence is not strong enough. As we've learned in the requirements, you want to leave your reader with something to think about. The importance of your analysis and literary movement. The importance of why we draw connections between classic and contemporary ideas. And that's the entire essay. We've looked in depth at an introduction where we've defined our literary movement, analyzed how it has influenced today's society in our body paragraph, and wrapped up our thoughts of its importance in our conclusion to emphasize your points. Once you're finished, you'll get ready for Mastery Chunk number 5, where we'll get into the drafting and peer reviewing process, and you're going to give each other some feedback on your writing. If you haven't already, go check out the previous lessons on the introduction or body paragraphs for review, or take a look at the videos where I review some student examples. I hope that this in-depth review of a conclusion paragraph was helpful. Up next, we'll look at some student examples of modernism and naturalism. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.